Hello, my drinking friends. This one is for you. Usual Wines. Perhaps you've heard of it, perhaps you haven't, and perhaps you're curled up with a glass of wine as you're listening to this podcast. But before you go and open another bottle, may I suggest you check out usualwines.com, and here is why. Usual Wines is for the modern drinker, someone of the new modern age. Each bottle is self-contained. It contains 6.3 ounces, which is a heavy pour, or about a glass and a half of wine. All the wines are low carb and have 0 grams of sugar. This way you're no longer wasting a bottle of wine on a guest who just wants to have a sip and get a bit tipsy. No. You can order Usual Wines, and that way if they would like a glass of wine, you're opening one bottle, simply only wasting one, as opposed to an entire bottle that has several other bows in it. So, Usual Wine has a red blend, a rosé blend, and a sparkling white wine called Brut. They also have a limited production of Brut Rosé just for summer. So if you're interested in perhaps not wasting any more wines, head to usualwines.com. That's www.usualwines.com and enter my discount code WORST. WORST, and get $8 off your first order and try your first glass on us. Again, usualwines.com with the promo code WORST, $8 off to the best glass of wine of your life. Cheers.
It's because we need to be illuminated.
How does my hair look? Oh, wait, are we rolling?
It looks fabulous. We're rolling.
Hi,
Are you ready?
Brittany's channel. I'm Brittany's podcast. Hi, Brittany's podcast.
When you have a YouTuber on. Hi, Brittany's channel. I can't.
Wait, don't you put those on your
No, I'm normally just like, hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Oh.
No, they do go on my YouTube, but I post all my podcasts full length on my page.
Wait, what do you mean?
On Instagram.
Oh, I know. I like everyone. You see that
you
I like.
do? Thanks. You're like, I don't watch them, but I like
No,
them.
I don't watch all of them. No, I watched the 15 seconds of them, and then it
The
goes to
honesty. He goes, I don't watch them, but I like them.
I make sure I like all your
You
posts.
got my support.
You
I'm
do have my
dead.
support.
Guys, this is Alx James. This is one of my nearest, dearest friends, and I know you know him. He's been on my YouTube before and everything, but I haven't seen you in years.
It's been 3 years.
Which is insane because it's
know.
like one of those situations where I haven't seen you in years, but like we pick it right back up.
Exactly. She got married and left me.
Yeah.
She
Excuse
met
me, you
Tommy.
went to North Carolina. Come on and raise
this
up.
is
Take
true.
your shirt off. Kicking around your head like a helicopter.
Oh, look at you knowing this
dead, I know
song.
the song.
Wait, no, but here's what's so crazy. I think I've actually told you this story
What?
the first time we met. So
Oh, yes.
I emailed you when I wasn't even vining. Like I hadn't even started the Vine, or I started the Vine account, but I wasn't like vining. You and Marcus Johns were literally my like
biggest things on
idols,
my- yeah.
right? And I emailed you, and you emailed me back. And Marcus Johns, I emailed him, and he emailed me back. And that's what made me wanted to like
Yeah.
vine. I was like, okay, these people are cool. Like I'm gonna start vining. And then I finally met you, and I was like, oh my god, it's Brittany Furlan. And, then
And
we
you were like, what a
literally-
loser.
No, we filmed our first Vine, me, you, and Simone. Remember outside?
much
It was
fun.
like the. Did you say you were gonna go get another cookie?
Yeah. Oh,
And I-
yeah.
was like,
Fat
okay,
ass. What'd you
yeah.
say? That ass.
Yes,
Oh my God,
that was
I
the first
remember.
Vine, and
At
first
Air
time we met.
One.
Air One, yes, first time I met you and Simone.
Oh my God. And you used to have that little goatee and like, oh my God. And you're so funny. But now you're a TikTok star. You are.
The
You
pause.
are. I'm dead.
No, I
You
love
get
TikTok.
so much
No.
love on TikTok.
No. I thank you, but there are actual like TikTok stars that I like freaking love, like Brittany Broski.
Oh, I
and
like her too, yeah.
Christina Snaps.
Is that the average fashion blogger chick?
She's the one who does the cactus. She got the cactus from Target. She was like, things I buy at late night shopping at Target.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
know
saying?
that one.
Oh my God, it's like one of my favorite videos. Anyways, there's a lot of TikTok stars
Yeah.
like to me
Yeah.
that like actively like TikTok that I am obsessed with. But yes, I am on the app and I freaking love it.
And they love you on there.
Yeah, I
you are just
appreciate it.
killing it.
Yeah, I love it. So are you.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What are you talking about? I remember when you literally were like, I was like, girl, I don't think the hashtags are working.
I know,
Like,
I
think
know,
we need
right?
to do it like this. And then you out of nowhere just like getting 300, 400,000 views a video. And I'm like, she's showing her boobs now? Like,
Dead.
are
I
you
know, right? That's
freaking
all I have to
kidding
do.
me?
I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting enough views. Time to pull these. I mean, look at today. Hello.
You look incredible.
Dad, I love
Brittany.
you.
I'm talking about like,
God bless you.
oh my God, unreal.
Okay, but we need to get to the tea.
Yeah.
Because this is worst first.
Oh yeah. Hi,
Excuse
worst
me, you
first.
are on the worst podcast to talk about all the worst shit that's ever happened.
Right.
And we know you've been through some shit.
Oh God, yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
you have to pick, like, you have so many worsts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know where you want to start.
Oh my God. Okay, well, what is the normal thing of worst first? Like, what does people?
People are usually talking about worst date.
Okay.
Oh,
so
the one that
the Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Okay, so we actually have a video on your channel that's called Worst First Alx James, right?
This is when I first was trying out Worst First. It's like
Yeah.
an old YouTube video before it was a podcast.
Right, she filmed it at my house,
Yes.
my apartment, yeah, on the red couch. Oh, she joined me on the red couch.
I did.
Did you private that video?
No, it's up.
Oh, I thought you were like, yeah, I don't know none of
Yeah,
that.
go check out that video. It's deleted.
Right, but in that video, I was telling her about the first time this one guy that I had met. Anyways, literally a week after we had filmed that video, I met this other guy and met him
you
on
went on
Tinder.
another date. You met him on Tinder.
Right.
He's good looking.
He was so, oh my God, he was like 6'6". Like he was like,
Taller than you.
yes, he was scrumdiddlyumptious. Okay.
So what happened?
So we were talking on Tinder for like 3 days or whatever, and I was like, he gave me his number, and I was like, okay, cool. We FaceTime literally that night. Then I was like, okay, this isn't sketchy. You know
And
what
he
I'm
looked
saying?
like himself.
He was so cool, so chill or whatever. And his Disney pass, like the Disney thing.
Hold your mic to your mouth. He's all.
This?
Anyway,
Because I'm freaking. This is
he had a.
I need
Did
a
he have?
freaking thing.
Did he have a fast pass? What are you talking?
Yes, but it ended in like a month, and he wasn't going to redo it or 2 weeks or whatever. He was like, "Do you want to go to Disneyland?" And da da da. And I was like, "Yeah, cool."
Who doesn't want to go?
Right?
Yeah.
So we go to Disneyland, and
Oh my God.
okay, so he's like fit, right? And you know, like when you're dating somebody fit, or when somebody is fit, the protein smell, like the farts.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. He's all. I'm dead.
I never heard
you
it.
shake his hand. It's all. Yeah, what was that? It was nothing. I think it was the teacups. Oh my God. That laugh.
The wheeze.
We need to
You
address
make
the
me
smoker's
wheeze.
laugh.
No, oh, we'll get there. I had my wheeze before this whore got me on.
He's giving me COVID
cigarettes.
right now.
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I now smoke vape. We will get to that story. This freaking whore right here got me hooked on cigarettes.
And then I stopped.
And then she just kept socially. She's like, yeah, oh wait. And she's like, wait, you're
I'm like, wait, you smoke 10 packs
You-
a day? That's bad for you. You should really get it together. You're going to age really fast.
But it was American Spirit Organic. So
I convinced him that smoking was okay because it was American Spirits and they were organic.
she was my idol.
He got himself addicted to smoking because he wanted to hang out with me. I'm dead.
I'm dead. Okay, wait. So look, we're walking around.
Okay, at Disneyland, you start smelling
We're
protein.
walking around Disneyland. And no. It don't smell like protein at all. It's because they also don't just do protein; they eat like healthy.
Yeah.
and it smells like garb. For those of you that like know people that are
all
buff,
plant-based. Like,
yes, like
sometimes you get a little stinky.
okay. Anyways,
A little Beano up in
but
there.
which would be okay if like we were together.
Yeah.
But not our first day.
So tell me what.
So we're walking around and literally like we had just, you know how you have to like pass the things or whatever.
Yeah.
So he went in before me and
And you go, what in the hell?
so he literally farts. I don't hear
He
it.
crop dusted you
Yeah, I
walking
don't
through the
hear it,
turnstile?
right? Okay. So apparently I'm figuring this out all the time, right? Or I don't realize this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yes.
don't know until the end. Okay. Anyways, so I'm just like, I go through and I'm like,
You're like, what's that
I look at him
smell?
and I was like, it smells like literal garbage. And even the lady that was like checking us in was like, I don't know what that is. So it was.
The lady just passes out.
It was inhumanly. Like,
Stop right away.
yes. Okay. So
You guys, first of all, if you're going on a date, you need to unload your cannon,
do
okay?
Gas X.
You need to take some shits before you get on the date.
How am I so sweaty and you're not?
I don't know.
Oh, I've gained weight. Crap. Oh,
Because you're fat?
Yeah, I gained 40
You're not
pounds.
fat.
No, I am.
No,
well,
you're
not
not.
fat, but I'm overweight.
You look great.
Thanks.
No, but literally, like, you guys need to shit before you go on dates. Like, girls and guys, just
Dude,
unload
she's
your
something.
cannon because you don't want to be on the date and have a fucking bowling ball coming out your ass. Like, it's gonna smell. There's no way to hide it, okay? You can light all the little matches in the bathroom that you want. People know, okay? Been there, done that. I've had to shit. I've had diarrhea in a bathroom He's like, why does my bathroom smell like a fire? And I'm like, I just lit so many matches. But anyway, back to your story. You go through the turnstile. It smells like fucking garbage.
I'm talking. That's doing it gently.
Stop.
Okay.
Did you think it was him right away or no? You're like, this is weird. Maybe the garbage truck came by.
No, I wasn't even thinking garbage truck. I was thinking just like, the sewer.
Yeah,
like the
something.
Line
Yeah,
underneath,
yeah. Dead. You thought it was
and like
a sewer line.
waters the plants, because it's not drinkable water.
Oh
it's
my
like
God,
recycled.
yes.
So I was like, let's get away from the water station.
Disneyland on a budget.
Right.
Damn.
So we're walking through and we decide to eat at this place, which we happen to have the exact same favorite like little stop. I don't know what this place is called, but they have incredible tomato bisque, like tomato basil bisque, whatever soup, and like these
grilled
big
cheese.
grilled cheese.
Ooh, I
Do you
heard
know
of
what I'm
it.
talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a Disney specialty.
Yes, and they're like pink. Okay, it's like this pink place. So we go there and we're sitting down. I smell the whiff.
Stop.
While we're eating, go walk to I gotta go to the bathroom. Go what I'm talking about. It was so bad I didn't finish my grilled cheese
During eating?
because the parade they had like a parade or whatever, and Elsa's up there, and girl, Elsa's my queen. So I'm like, let it go, and I'm like,
And he's like, oh, let it go. Okay. If I get COVID, I will sweat.
I just have a wheeze. I don't have COVID.
I'm dead. That's the famous last words on your gravestone. It's just a
wheezing.
wheeze. It's not COVID. Alx James. R.I.P. I can't.
It's a wheeze.
I can't. Okay, so you're literally sitting there. You're singing Let It Go. He lets one go. You're eating your grilled cheese. You can't finish it. Oh, my God. Did you know it was him at this point or no?
No.
Because there's a lot of kids running around. It might be one of their little farty asses.
Also, the parade went by, and there's just like, I'm like,
You would be the worst pop.
Nina.
You would be the worst pop singer. Everybody in the club, can you hear me? Everyone's like, no, we can't hear you. Can you actually put the mic to your? Anyway,
I'm dead. Get your guard dog.
Nina, you gonna? Aww.
Okay. Oh my God. Do I look disgusting right now? I'm so sorry. Can you see my
The whole podcast is just us laughing. Everyone's just turning it off slowly. They're like, I'm over this. What is happening?
Okay, so we're there.
So
the parade goes by.
Yeah.
And the parade had ended or was just about to end, and I get the whiff, and I'm literally
No.
I tell him, and I go,
Do you smell that?
so I go, that is that smell again. Like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know.
Stop. He acted like he didn't know.
Wait. You just freaking wait. Okay. So
I don't know.
he was like, yeah. No, he was like, yeah. Like, like he remembers the smell that I'm talking about. And I'm just like, I did not think it was him.
Wow.
Okay. So we're going to our next little destination. Harry Potter Land had like just opened like the first week or had only been open for a week or whatever. So we get our because that's not Disney Pass. Like you have to like buy tickets or something for it. So he bought the tickets, which I thought was awesome. Right. So we're going around. We go into the little Harry Potter thing, and they have like a lunchroom in. Have you been to Harry Potter Land?
No.
Okay, so they have like a food cafeteria thing, and I guess what he got, like, because he got like he nothing like crazy, like I got all the carbs, so he wanted like a hamburger or something in this place, and I'm just thinking like, okay, cool, like I want to go down the Diagon alley, like I want to go look at some stuff. So we meet up literally like 30 minutes later. I'm lost in Harry Potter world. Like if you have not been, it's
amazing.
Well, I think it's all shut down now, but yeah, but oh my God,
Is that Disneyland?
At Disneyland,
Okay.
yeah. So
So he just came back from having the hamburger.
He comes back having the hamburger, and we go to I don't know what this place is called. It's like there's like outdoor robots.
Okay.
I don't know
Transformers World or something.
No, it's like maybe iRobots or something.
Okay.
Or I don't know. It's on the opposite side of Harry Potter World. Like, yeah, we had left. Anyway, so I start to smell it again, and I'm just like, dude,
God, couldn't this guy have taken a shit?
Dude, I'm like, at this point, I'm like, now we're on the opposite side of the park. Like, you've been to Disneyland before, right?
Yes.
So you know how they have like a Disney side, like the kids side or whatever, and then the opposite side. Okay, so I think the cars, maybe it was the car section that we were at. There was like a track or whatever. So I was like, how? I even said this out loud. I was like, how is this smell on the opposite side of the freaking park?
And
I'm
you
like,
said this to him?
Yes. I was like, their freaking irrigation is like ridiculous because we were still like right there by the cars thing. There's like water stuff. I was like, this must be like goose poop.
Stop.
Goose poop. Like, I'm like, this is just rancid.
Stop.
Like, I mean, it literally was to the point where I was just like, I want to leave.
Yes, you were like, I can't handle this.
I was like, I cannot handle this smell. Like,
oh my
whatever.
God.
Okay, so we're wrapping things up, and we're literally we're wrapping things up. We're literally leaving the park. As we're leaving the park, like we're waiting to get on the little things to like take us to like one of the golf carts or whatever to take us to our car or to our section, and we're getting on the cart, and he goes, "Oh gosh, my stomach's been rumbly all day long," and I'm like, "You disgusting!" Like I didn't approach him with it, but I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
It was him.
It was you this entire time, like. It was the smell, Brittany.
That's why I was following you, because it was him.
He was so hot that I never even want to see him again. Like, I'm talking about, I'm trying to think of like, you know.
He was so hot, but the smell was so bad you just couldn't even hang out with him again.
He's like,
I can't.
like hot, like a Ford model, like girl. I'm talking about hot. I was like, and I was also skinny then, not now. But I can get a Ford model soon. It's just like not right now.
You could get like a Ford truck model now.
He would run. Diesel. Yeah. Get a lifted diesel truck. Hey,
okay,
whatever.
I'm kidding.
So I'm literally just like, I mean, it literally smells like rotten
Did you
broccoli.
ever say anything? Like,
Never
dude, you
said-
were fucking ripping ass this
No,
whole
but
time?
I gave him a face that was just like, I have a booger.
No, you do. Go take care of it. There's a bathroom right. Oh, you got it. Where are you going to put it? Oh, all right. It's somewhere. Oh my God.
So
can't.
we leave, and I'm telling you, like, you know how the remnants of the smell, you can just like taste it, or
Ew, it was stuck to you?
Let me tell you this.
The shit particles are probably in your mouth.
I'm not making this up. Maybe I'm the only one that has experience, but tell me this. Have you ever smelled something and then like later that day farted and it smelled like that smell?
Me farted?
Have you ever smelled? Yes.
Yes, I know. You know that sick rancid fart. Yes,
right.
I know that
but
smell.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying like if you smell something like outside, like whatever, and then you fart, you smell that and it smells the same. You're like, oh my God, that smells like that place from 3 hours. I don't know if you've had that. I don't know, but I have, right? I farted like later that night and it reminded me of that
him.
smell. And I was like,
and you almost threw up.
I almost threw
on yourself.
Oh, literally, I had to go to the bathroom. Like I didn't throw it, but I was just like gagging.
You know what's so weird? I actually love the smell of my own farts. Like I actually fart and I'm like, I jar it. I sell it on OnlyFans. Stop. I sell it on OnlyFans. My jarred farts. Stop. I seriously would. But no, I literally love the smell of my own farts. Like I'll fart and I'll just start laughing and I'll just like breathe it in because it smells like.
So I don't not like the smell. I mean, my farts don't disgust me, but I'm not.
Like my farts are definitely disgusting because I've farted and not told Tommy and he's been like, "What's that smell?" And I have the dogs, so it's always easy to blame the dogs. Like the dogs have scapegoated me out of so many farts. That's another secret.
His mouth smells like
his mouth smells
death.
like garbage. Yeah, I mean he's 16 years old. He's like 105.
Let me roast you.
I know, roast him. No, he literally but it's good as a good trick. Another hack for girls or guys going. Well, more girls. If you're going on a date, make sure you have a little dog. Bring the dog with you if you're having kind of like a weird stomach day. And anytime something smells weird, just be like, "Oh my God, my dog keeps farting. I'm so sorry."
My dog is gassy.
Literally, my dog has gas issues. It's so easy because then Tommy believes it because he's like, "Oh yeah, they eat nasty shit all day, like all their nasty bones and stuff." But it's never them. And then Nina just looks at me like,
Nina gives her the biggest
look
attitude.
at her face. She just gives me that look like, "Bitch, are you fuck?" Look, that face. Just so judgy.
She is.
She's judgy. She'll like literally look at me like. Like I remember I used to dress up like a total whore and then I'd like go out and I'd be like, "Be good." She would look at me like, "Me be good?" Really, bitch?
Where can I go?
She'd be like, "I'm fucking in the house. You're going out to suck 20 dicks." I'm not. My dad's watching this. I've never sucked. I've never sucked 20 dicks at once.
Ronald, right?
Ronald McDonald dead.
Hi, Ronald. We love you.
Oh my God. So how crazy is that? That's the worst. The farting.
Oh my. never could speak to him
And
again.
so did he text you later?
Yes. And I would just like,
and you ghosted him?
I ghosted him.
You did?
I didn't even be like,
You're
hey,
like,
I was
sorry,
busy.
I'm ghosting you, like you with your ghostly farts that you wouldn't admit.
I couldn't do it. It was that bad. Like, I have never seen him again. It was awful.
So he was
I unfollowed him
messaging
on
you.
Instagram.
Oh no!
That's all.
He's probably trying to figure it out.
This
Actually,
is
he
so-
had to know.
He had.
He knows.
Brittany.
He knows.
Brittany. So, like, he had to have known. I feel bad. I was also younger then.
Maybe
like,
at IBS.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that now.
I would call someone out so quick.
Well, it was just like, I didn't know at first. And then when the way he struck it on me, I was like, what?
And plus, when somebody's so hot, you're like, there's no way that could come out of that person.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was just like, I literally thought it was the irrigation system. And then when he said, God, my stomach's been rumbling all day, I was like, this mother.
I'm dead. But like, everyone's had crazy diarrhea. Do you ever just think about that? Like,
Girl,
every single person, you, me, fucking Angelina Jolie, like everyone has had at one point where they were on the toilet just like bearing down like and it's just like fiery water coming out of your ass.
Right, yes.
Everyone's had that. There's not one person in the world who hasn't had that happen to them.
No,
but like to go farting on someone through a whole date and just like expecting to get a text back's a little crazy.
A date.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Maybe he wasn't into me and he was getting me away, but he texted me back.
Stop.
Yeah.
No.
Had so much fun.
Yeah, he's like, let me know when I can fart on you. I mean, hang out with you again.
I didn't even say I had fun with him. I think it just threw me for such a like, you dirty net. Like, I
yeah,
don't want
you
your
were
butthole
just like,
around me.
ugh. Did you give him a kiss goodbye?
Nope. I didn't. It was awkward.
Did you high five him or hug him?
Nope. I hugged him.
Like a side hug?
Yep.
Not even a full hug?
No, I hugged him like this, like both of my arms. But, God, no, it was a side hug. It was like this.
He was all, one for the road. I'm dead. He drove?
Yeah.
Both of you?
He
Did he
came pick
fart
me
the
up.
car up?
No, I didn't smell it in the car. Nothing.
He had like 16 Glade air fresheners. Wow, that's a lot of air fresheners. He's got 12 plugged in. You're like, wow. He's like, I just like my car smelling fresh. Okay, stop. It's not like I fart all the time or anything. You just stop. I can't.
Also, I know why.
Have you ever farted on a date?
Of course.
Yeah.
These farts aren't rancid.
You know what the worst as a girl is when like your guy's having sex with you from behind, and then you're queefing and it's just.
My roommate.
That's the worst. And then my husband, like, at first thought I was farting on him, and he was like, "Ew." He was like, "This bitch is nasty." But every girl does it. Like, it's like just the air gets caught. Like, where's the air supposed to go? Like, you can't blame me for the air.
Well, I'm a
you can't
golden
blame
gay.
me for aerodynamics. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never experienced that with a girl. I've never.
you're gonna push all the air in there. It's gonna go. Like,
Wait,
that's
it
the
comes back
noise.
out the coochie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Especially if the
my
thing's
husband
tight.
literally thought I was farting on his dick. He was like, ew. He's just, like, every time. Like, not even like one without. Like, not one without. Just over and over and over. And my husband was like, I gotta stop. Like, I'm gonna throw up. Like, he used to throw up all the time, like, so easy. He threw up. Boy, did I tell you when he saw my period for the first time? Oh my God.
Wait, how long ago was that? How long were y'all married?
First of all, this guy has been in so many long-term relationships before me, and he told me that none of his exes ever farted on him. He's never seen any of their poop.
He's never met Brittany.
Never seen their period blood. He said they kept that shit under wraps. Like, I was like, who are these bitches? Aliens?
We see that
like,
as her friends. So
I
I
was
can only
like,
imagine.
I have a weird poop. I will text you, even if we just met. I will say, hey, you know what? We just met, but what do you think of this? Like, looks a little suspicious. Do you know any friends that are doctors? Because I will do that.
I'm dead.
So literally, one time I'm like on my period, and he like wanted to have like a fun time. He was all horny.
He wanted his wife.
But I was on my period, and I said, okay. I was like, well, stick your finger up there. And he literally sticks his finger up, and I have like endometriosis, and I have like PCOS, so I have all kinds of weird shit, and like I have huge
Scar tissue.
No, literally
Six
scar
of
tissue,
you.
blood clots, like this big, like that have their own houses and like incomes, like blood clots that have their own like LinkedIn pages. Literally blood clots so big, and he sticks his finger up. And this giant blood clot sticks to his finger, and it's like this long, and he pulls it out, and he goes, oh, and he turns white, and he goes, it's a worm.
Worm.
He thought I had Listen.
I'm dead.
Oh, worm. He's almost passed out immediately. Immediately projectile vomited.
On you?
No, into the sink immediately.
Stop.
Immediately vomited. Immediately. Like pulled it out, looked at it, goes, it's a worm.
And it was just red.
Yeah,
like
but it's a big, juicy, red, long clot.
My God.
And I'm laughing.
Were you embarrassed?
I was
Okay,
laughing. I knew that shit was going to happen, boy.
Wait, how long were you
It does look like
for?
a worm. Probably like 5 minutes. He's all getting the divorce papers. I'm dead. No, he literally just throws up in the sink immediately. Like, he was like, that's disgusting. It's a worm. He didn't believe that it was a clot because he'd never seen that.
That was massive.
And it was massive, yes.
On, yeah.
And he didn't think that was possible. He goes, you got worms in your vagina. You got worms. I'm like, no, it's not worms. It's a blood clot. He'd never seen it.
That is unreal.
I've been a lot of his worst first. Worst first time your wife texts you a picture of her shit. I text him every time I have a crazy shit. I'm like,
I can imagine.
bro,
this.
I had one that came up and came out of the water like what's that thing called? The Loch Ness Monster. I swear to God, this thing came up. It had a head. It looked around. It went back down. I said, what the hell? I said it was this long. It was about 2 feet long. I said, how? And it didn't break. It coiled like it was Anaconda Part 2, the movie. I swear.
That's like part 4.
Snakes on a Plane was Part 4. It was Part 7.
There's so many
it was
anacondas.
so long. And I showed him and he goes, how did that even fit inside of you? And he gets horrified. He's traumatized. I've traumatized him. I've broken him. I have. Yeah.
Oh God, I can only imagine.
You have to
with
break
you.
your partner a little bit. You know?
do.
You gotta
You have
like
to-
let them know that this is real. Like, I'm not one of your
Exactly.
like fake girlfriends who
If you want
doesn't
it,
show you anything.
Here's my thing with my future husband. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you like, and it is right here. You better not find it nowhere else. You want me in a dress? You get what I'm saying? Like, boy, you get what I'm saying? Like, you best not be going somewhere else to find
But
it.
how weird will you get? Like, what if you get married
If
and
I'm
you're
married and now
anything? It goes.
What
What if your partner's real weird and goes like,
No,
I
thank
need you
you.
to dress up as a giraffe and stick your wiener out? Like,
thanks, we wouldn't be divorced. I feel like, you know what? There's someone out there for you.
because I had a girlfriend, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I have a girlfriend. She's really small, and she dated a guy, okay, a famous actor, and I'm not going to say who he is. And they were in a long-term relationship, right? And one day he comes home, and he has a life-size doll box with doll clothes, with the plastic in the front and everything. And she was tiny, and he goes, I want you to put on these doll clothes and pretend you're a doll. Don't make any noise and get inside the box. And then I want to fuck you. And
she's in the box.
yes, and we'll take her out of the box like she's a doll, and she wasn't allowed to make any noise like a doll. Be quiet. And put all these doll clothes on and get inside the box. And then he wanted to role play where he takes her out of the box and then fucks her like she's a live human doll.
Oh.
And she did it. And she was like, it was the weirdest shit
Was she
ever.
into it?
No, she said it was weird, and like she just liked him because like, you know, they'd been together for a while, but like then he sprung this on her, and then he started wanting her to do it all the time. And then they broke up.
Okay, so there is a limit to my there's a limit.
But imagine like someone's like, you're going to be dressed up as a doll. You're going to get inside this box. You can't make any noise. I'm going to take you out and I'm going to have sex with you, and you can't make any noise, and you have to bend and move however I want like you're a doll.
I would genuinely say I think there's someone out there for you. But it's not me.
But it's not me.
It's not me. Have a nice life.
I mean, like, I feel like that'd be kind of fun, but I also feel like it'd be kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I think the no noise thing is
No,
weird.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Being quiet, like,
Right. That's where you're throwing me off.
That's like
is
some
how-
serial killer shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, now being a doll, like, if that's okay.
yeah, dressed up as a doll.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But don't be putting me in a box. And don't be pulling me out of no box and I can't move. I can't talk. No. Like, you got
It's like, just get a real doll.
Right.
One of those
blow
real
up.
dolls.
You can get one like a robotic doll.
Yes,
Like,
and it'll suck your dick and everything. It doesn't say a
exactly.
word.
I'd be like, what? But I think he wants like the real, I think it's a control thing.
It was weird.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah, and she was. It was anyway. So that was like really scary. So that was something that happened. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's limits to certain things, but also like some people say, oh, like, you know, sharing too much with your partner kills a relationship, and I'm like, if they truly love you,
That's
if
what I'm
that person
saying.
truly loves you, it won't matter if they shart or like fucking have diarrhea or if they throw up or if they whatever. Like you'll love them no matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We're animals too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the poop and stuff like that, just like how animals, it just becomes like
it's a natural
that's
thing.
different.
And like we literally try to act like we're not animals. Like,
right.
we're like, oh, put lipstick on and hairdo and makeup and everything. Like, oh, I'm not an animal. I don't like have to like.
It's like this, like just like an animal does. Like everybody checks, you know.
Literally, people are animals.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like animals, not like like we're from animals. I'm saying like we're like animalistic, with our bathing and smells and stuff like that. But when you love somebody, it just becomes like just an aroma that you sometimes crave. Yeah, you know.
My mom said that to me the other day. She's like, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. She's like, I want to smell you. I was like, okay, you fucking psycho.
Her mom, I love your mom. Her mom DMs me all. Hi, wait, how do I say her? Jillian? Jill. Okay, but isn't it Jillian? Okay, yeah. Hi, Jill. She DMs me all the time. She comments on all my stuff. I love Jill. Jill and Ron, my faves. Anyways.
And they're divorced. I can't.
I know.
I'm dead. You get them back together. No, that would never happen. I'm dead. I'm so dead.
Adopt me. You're like, hi, Britt. I'm the one who makes them stable. I'm like, they just needed a good boy. Yep, they needed the third child. Is it just her brother?
So dead. It is me and my brother. Okay, so when we come back, I want to talk to you about, because last week we were talking about, actually no, last week was Mickey Avalon, but a week before that we were talking about extraterrestrials and stuff like that, and I kind of want to get your view on that kind of thing because I watched a really interesting documentary someone told me to watch last night. Okay, guys, so we'll be right back on Worst First with Alx James.
So I've been trying to figure out the best wine to give my friends when they come over because I feel like if I open a really crazy expensive bottle of wine, they just finish that or they don't finish it and it goes sour and I'm just like, ugh. But I found a wine that is delicious and great price and it's called Usual Wine, okay? And the cool thing about Usual Wine is that it comes in individual bottles, okay? So when I serve this to my friends, they say it's delicious. It has a bunch of different flavors. There's a red blend, a rosé, a sparkling white wine called a Brut, and also a Brut rosé just for summer. And the great thing is these are individually bottled wines that are 6.3 ounces of wine, which is like a glass and a half of wine. Okay, so that's pretty much good to get your friends started. And if they have too many of those, you know, it's time to go. But Usual Wines is really great, especially because it's low carb and 0 grams of sugar, and it is made from world-class AVAs like Napa, Sonoma, and Santa Barbara with minimal intervention and zero sugar. So if you are interested in trying a delicious brand of wine that is crisp and cool and great for the summertime, head to usualwines.com. That's USUAL wines.com. Enter my promo code WORST, WORST. Yeah, I know it says worst, but this is actually the best. So WORST will be your promo code, WORST, at usualwines.com for $8 off your first order. Enjoy.
Okay, we're back. It's so funny for my guests because literally it just cuts right back. Like I don't have any sponsors anymore. So like, cause I'm just talking about my husband and touching my wormy vagina. So my sponsors are like, not really good for our quinoa brand. They're like, gonna drop her from overnight oats. Like she's not really our go-to for that. Dead. She's talking about her husband effing her from behind and it making queef noises. Yeah, that's really not going to work for our rice-a-roni company. I can't. So anyway, there's probably just no ads. Anyway, so we're back, and I watched an amazing documentary last night, and you have to watch it.
Yes.
It's called Capturing the Light. It's on Amazon Prime.
So I'll use your password. Give me your password and your link, and I'll watch it. Go.
It's called Capturing the Light, and it's this old ass lady who lives in Canada, and she started noticing like late at night. Do you ever like really stare at the sky late at night?
I do, especially in North Carolina.
Yes.
Nowhere.
And do you ever see like weird stars where they're sometimes moving or like?
Yeah, but you know, I have seen stuff like that, but I've always thought, you know, you do see planes and stuff like that. But yes, I have seen stars move before.
Yes,
totally. Yes.
And you think, and our mind always goes like, oh, it's a plane.
Or your eyes are just moving.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I'm just seeing things, right? Mm-hmm. So this lady like started noticing, her name was Dorothy Izat, if you guys want to look her up. And this is really interesting. It's called Capturing the Light. And we just watched it last night. And that's why I wanted to share this with you because it's so interesting. So she's like 70-something-year-old grandma, like, has nothing to gain from this. She starts noticing these lights, like constant lights in her backyard lining up. They're moving in weird ways, like up and down really fast, sideways, this way, that way. So she starts... Are you farting?
Don't blame it on them.
I'm putting him down. He's got a shit.
Don't blame it on them.
I'm dead. I'm so dead. I know. No, I didn't. I didn't even eat anything yet today. Anyway, so she literally... No, it's like 4 p.m. I didn't eat anything. So she starts filming these lights, right? And then she starts getting communicated with the beings that are in there, and they start getting closer. And she has this all on footage. It's freaking crazy. You can see it. You have to watch it. It's called Capturing the Light. And this is back in like 1980s, so there was no.
What was she filming it on?
A old school camera, like an 8mm, old school camera. She's filming this shit. It's insane. They've taken it to specialists. Every VX specialist, one of the biggest VX specialists in the house, say like, no, this is real footage.
Right.
Like, this is crazy. And you guys just have to watch it. Anyway, it's called Dorothy Isaac, Capturing the Light. So interesting. So I was last night just standing outside, and like, we have this very vast, like, open area outside. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the sky, and I'm like, it's so weird. Like, I've noticed so many times, but like a lot of planes fly over our house, so I always think it's just planes.
Right.
But like, if you really go out and look at the sky, sometimes you'll notice randomly. Sometimes there's like a red star, or for me, I'll notice it. It's red, and it'll turn green and red, and I've noticed this before. And then it'll like move, and I'm like, that's so weird. And I always thought, oh, it's a plane, you know, but it's not moving like straight. It's not like a plane where a plane just kind of goes over like that. Right. It'll be like moving in different directions. It's kind of weird, but I always thought, oh, just like automatically just thought planes. But then I watched this thing last night.
What color was the lights? Did she say that the lights
They were different colors in her thing too. Red, green, all kinds of shit.
Oh, wait, no, I want to know more about the one that you said, like, did you find out any more about the car that they found out?
Oh, no, but it was like right around Black Lives Matter. I said this on my podcast. Like, they discovered, the Pentagon released information that they found a vehicle that was made of all extraterrestrial materials, but they just shared like a little bit of details on it. Definitely not made from anything on this earth. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, anyway, back to Black Lives Matters. Like, they just buried it, right?
That is so crazy.
But like, it's so weird in the documentary because they were like, and this is what's weird, is I'm starting, because there's apparently a bunch of different types of aliens, okay? Mm-hmm. So we're technically aliens because we are living on this planet. Yeah, we're a type of an alien right, to them, you know? So like, there's the grays, which are like the most common aliens, and they're like gray and short, and they're the ones you think of with the big head and the big black eyes. But then there's like these aliens called the Nordic aliens, where they look exactly like Scandinavian people, like beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes, and like they look like us, but they're aliens.
Do you think that they are like hybrid with humans, and that they're
okay? So this is what's happening. Is like in the documentary, she said that aliens have been coming here forever and pretending to be people.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think they've bred?
And they're trying to get, because apparently the only way that the grays can reproduce is if they clone. And because they keep cloning, their species is getting weaker. And so they're trying to breed with humans to extend their species. But they also are visiting Earth because they're worried about us, because we are destroying our own planet.
Right.
And they said that affects everything in the whole solar system.
Right.
So like, if we destroy our planet, then we destroy what they have going on, because we're all connected, you know? And there's so many different tiers of aliens. There's even one tier of aliens that I forget the name of, but it's like, they don't even have a physical form. They're just a consciousness. They're so highly evolved and so highly awakened that they don't even need a physical body. They're just a consciousness.
You do know that it's the same thing in the Bible. It talks about there's like 7 different type of angels. Like there's angels that have like 6 wings, and like there's angels that have 360
eyes,
degrees.
The ones that have the wings. Yes. So if you look up different types of angels, so that's why I wanted to ask you about this, because I know you're very religious, and I wanted to ask.
Well, I don't have a religion.
I have a religion. You're spiritual.
I'm Christianity.
You're spiritual.
I'm a follower of Christ, Jesus Christ, but I do not
have a certain religion.
Right. Anyways.
Okay, so that's a wrong way to say that. But anyway, what I meant to say was I wanted to get spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get your opinion because as I was watching this documentary, I was like, this is so interesting. Like, what if angels are aliens and aliens are angels, and this whole thing is like something that's happening on another realm? Like, what do you think of that?
Well, my whole thing is I would totally not like with the Lord, nothing would surprise me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I do think that creating a species aside from humankind gives those people who naturally the God-given gift to seek, outer space and, want to learn more, that's why he would have designed these creatures for us to discover them and potentially help them and realize like, this isn't, maybe they're here to help you, like you said with the earth.
Yeah.
I would not put that past. Like, I'm not, but I also am very like not as intrigued. Yeah. Because I'm like, if they're there, they're there. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord already knew, and they're good. You get what I'm saying?
Do you think, and I just have this weird feeling that like within the next couple years, we're going to have an extraterrestrial life visit us, or we've already had it, but it's going to be more public.
Now, you do know this. So in the Bible, in Revelations, it talks about how there is going to be, like when the Lord like comes back, and then the people who's like left behind or whatever, and the only conclusion would be that people would say it was an alien invasion. Right. And that's when the Antichrist comes based on the Bible. So it doesn't surprise me how like now they're all talking about like, oh, alien this, alien that, when it was all hush hush. Yeah. But now it's like they're preparing us for like the end of times. Like,
it's almost like they're normalizing it a little bit more. Like,
and they never did that.
No.
And I think they need an explanation for when that happens, and that's what they'll explain. Because like what they say during the apocalypse is like somebody who is flying a plane and literally their soul would leave and the plane just crashes, but nobody dies. And what the explanation is going to be is like everybody's going to get on the media, and that's when the Antichrist is going to be up there, and it's going to be literally like live television everywhere, right? And he's going to be up there and he's going to be talking, and then he's going to get shot in the head like on live television, and everybody's going to be like this mass chaos on top of what just happened. And then he's going to stand up and he's alive. And
where does this come from?
Revelation.
It's in Revelations?
Yes. And then it talks about how they're going to think he's God, and he is, but that's
actually the devil.
Yeah. And then he's going to have like 3 years of peace, and then like 4 bad years. And then Israel's going to know like, oh, you an Antichrist. So that's when they're going to run into the mountain. God's going to open the mountain they're going to run into, and then close it, and then the battle of Armageddon. Based on the Bible.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that aliens exist and that they're going to try to use that as propaganda.
I just feel like there's so much more that we don't know, and I'm just like not trying to be like the weirdo podcast, but like I just am like trying to get more enlightened, and it's
totally
more information, and the more I feel like lately, and I don't know why, I don't know if you feel this too, but I feel like a spiritual shift.
100%.
Like I feel like so much more awakened, and I feel so much more aware of things that are going on than I've ever been, and I'm noticing so much more, and I'm like, it's just really strange.
Yeah, no, that is, dude, your spiritual journey never stops. Just like how you diet. A diet is a lifetime choice. Or a lifetime decision.
Right.
But your spiritual journey, you're not going to get rid of your soul. Even if you don't say you have a soul, you still got one. So you can go all you want to, you're still going to be in heaven. We're all going to, you get what I'm saying? Like there's like a whole, you've already been saved. Like that's my stance on it. Whatever.
I think it's so interesting. And like now I'm just starting to like be so confused about so many things. Like I know our soul is inside of our body, and that we never really actually die, because when our physical body dies, our soul doesn't die. Our soul leaves the body and goes back into the spiritual realm. But there's just so many things that seem like they're intertwined. Like this whole extraterrestrial thing seems so intertwined with the whole religious thing, like us being reincarnated and things like that, and getting the choice, and then the different levels of heaven, and getting getting chosen to come back, or choosing to stay and be a spirit guide, and or evolving to become an angel. Like I just feel like it's all related.
So I will say this. I say that no matter what you serve, no matter what you believe, you better have love behind it.
Yes.
There cannot be, I serve this and I believe this, and if you don't, That's not love.
Yeah.
And you can hide behind what you believe all you want to, but as long as you are spread, I don't care if you're out here Buddha, 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 Buddha. I will
Right.
be, receive what you need to receive because you have love behind you.
Yes.
I receive Jesus Christ. You get what I'm saying?
As long as you come from a good intent.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I do believe that person who's over here saying Buddha, Buddha, Buddha that has love will be right in heaven with me.
That's what I think it's all equal to.
So I do believe I can relate if you're just thinking like intertwined, because I know at the end of the day you are seeking love. Like
yes.
you breathe love. Like
it's so interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like speculating.
Speculating.
You know what I
That's
mean?
beautiful. I mean, you're just trying to enlighten
I'm just
yourself
curious,
more.
and I'm just like, what? It's like, what does this all mean? I think about it all the time.
Don't let it overwhelm you though, because you have to remember you're human first.
Yeah.
The Bible even says that. Like, yes, you have a spiritual soul, but you are human first. You have to recognize it's beyond your control.
Yes.
So you give it to him, but he says yes. Like, if you're still wondering about it, God said, okay, give it some time, girl. Like, I will give you what you need to know when it's time. Because if you knew what was going on, you wouldn't leave the house. Like, we're in a constant spiritual warfare. So just know I got you. Still, let your mind run. But if you can't sleep because of it, that's when you come to him or whoever you go to and be like, look, take this from me, because that's why he's there.
I kind of want to know, like, I wish I could know like what went on. I wish someone would just say, like, someone who worked at like Area 51 or someone who works at the Pentagon would just come out and go.
People have.
Have
you not seen? Some of the videos they like get deleted off YouTube. They'll have like 3 million views and then get deleted. Yes, there's people who had worked in Area 51 and they talked about. Surprised you didn't mock me.
I know there's been some guys, but then they've been like, "Oh, that guy's crazy."
That's what they do.
Crazy, yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yes, no, you got to look at how they're extensive, like what they're talking about. I mean, I'm sure there are some quacks out there.
Yeah.
But no. It's like extensive.
I need to like learn more about it. If you guys have any videos you want to like DM me, because I just watched this Capturing the Light thing. It was really interesting, and then I watched another documentary called Travis. Have you heard of this one?
No.
It's so good. It's a documentary. It's another one on Amazon Prime, but it's called Travis, but I think it's on other places too. And it's about these 5 guys who were working as tree cutters in the middle of the forest in some like middle of America country, right? Mm-hmm. And they're all cutting trees and it's getting late and they're all getting into their truck and they're driving back to, head back home. And they see this really bright light coming through the trees, super bright. And they're like, what? What is that? And they're like, what is that? So they drive towards it. And then they get there and the light's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And this is 5 different guys, okay?
Nobody's recording?
No, because this is like back in the day.
Oh.
So there are literally 5 different guys, and they were on a tree job, This was no cell phones or anything. This is like back in the 1980s.
Right.
So they're literally driving, and then the one friend, Travis, gets out of the car, Travis Walton, gets out of the car and starts running towards the light because he wants to see what it is. And he said as he was running towards it, he realized he made a mistake because he walks up and sees a giant UFO hovering right above the ground about 15, 20 feet. And all the other guys see it. And they all walk up and they're like, what the fuck? And then within 3 seconds, Travis is getting sucked up into the UFO. And he looks like they said he looked like he had no bones in his body. He just like went completely limp. And he got sucked up into the UFO and taken away. And then the 5 guys go back to the police station and they're paranoid because they're like, no one's going to believe us. Oh, sorry, 4 guys now. They're like, no one's going to believe us, right? You have to watch this documentary. It's called Travis. So nobody's going to believe us. So they go back to the police station. They're like, we're going to tell them that he got sucked up by a UFO. And everyone's going to think we're crazy, right? So they go to the police station and the sheriff, and everybody's interviewed even in this documentary. And the sheriff goes, well, when they walked in and they were talking all crazy, I smelled them because I thought maybe they were on drugs. He's like, I thought maybe they were smoking weed and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, but they were all sober. He's like, so I detained them all. They arrested them. This is why people don't like go get help. So they arrested the 4 guys. They put them in a jail cell and they were like, where's Travis? Where'd you hide his body? You guys killed him. Where'd you hide his body? They thought that they killed him, right? Travis's family comes down. They go, I want these guys to do a polygraph test. If they are in fact telling the truth that Travis got sucked up by a UFO, I want them to do a polygraph test. Guess what?
They all passed.
They all passed. All 4 of them. And in the documentary, they show their polygraph thing. I saw a UFO. And then the polygraph guy goes, what did you see? I saw a UFO. What happened? Travis got sucked up into the UFO. Every single one of these tree cutters passed their polygraph test. So then the police were like, oh shit, like what do we do, right? So these guys are just being held in jail because they think that they're just making this up. This is some elaborate story. So 5 days goes by, okay? And then all of a sudden, Travis's brother gets a call, and it's Travis, and he sounds really weak, and he's in a phone booth across town, and he says, I'm back. He's like, I really need you to come get me. So his brother goes and gets him and brings him to the hospital, and the police are just like, what? Like, what happened, right? And all the news outlets are trying to get to him. Like, everybody's trying to talk to him, whatever, but he's so weak. 5 days had passed, and he said it felt like 2 hours, but his body, he hasn't eaten for 5 days. He only could recall 2 hours of what happened to him, and he's in the documentary, and he says what happened, and it's so scary. He says he got sucked up into the UFO. He said when he woke up, he was laying on a table, and there was a bright light above him, and he thought he was in the hospital. And so he sits up a little bit, and he sees 2 aliens, the grays, the ones with, like, he said they're very, like, the big, bobbleheads with the black eyes. Can you imagine if you saw that in real life?
Girl.
My heart would stop. Yeah.
I'd be like, where's my razor?
And by the way, in the Dorothy Izat documentary, that's another reason why she says a lot of people haven't experienced seeing the actual aliens is because the aliens know if you're afraid. And if you're afraid, they won't show themselves because they don't want to hurt you or scare you. Mm-hmm. So that's why not many people see them, by the way. They just see the lights. But I think I would die if I saw one. Anyway, but anyway, so he wakes up, he wakes up, he sees the two grays standing in the room, and he starts freaking out. And he said there was a metal tray next to him with a bunch of stuff on it, and he just grabbed like a glass beaker and broke it and threw it at them. And they ran out of the room, and then he ran out of the room. They went down the hallway. They were in the shade. Yeah, they were this guy's crazy. They're like, run away. I want to know what their vaginas and penises look like. Like, do they have vaginas and penises? No, because they clone. Yeah, they don't need it. Anyway, so I'm all, what does that alien dick look like? Dead. I just get sidetracked. So anyway, so he starts running down the hallway of the spacecraft, and he said, it's all silver, just like you see like in movies, and it's all smooth, and he's running down the hallway. They run down one hallway. He runs down another, and then he enters a room, and he said the room is all stars. Like there's a floor, but you can see out the glass that it's just all the universe, and there's one single chair, and he's freaking out, and then another alien walks in, but this alien looks like us. He's the Nordic alien. He said it looked like a tall Scandinavian guy, and he had a glass helmet on, like a.
They said send to the normal guy.
Yeah, well, they probably figured, know, because if you see someone that looks like you're gonna feel more comfortable, right? So they send in the normal looking alien, and so he walks in, and he's just standing there, and Travis runs up to him, and he's talking to him like, you gotta help me, blah, 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 like help me get out of here. And he said the guy was looking at him through his glass helmet, like just not understanding a thing he was saying, because they're aliens, they don't know what we speak. And so the guy grabs him by the shoulder and leads him down the hallway, and he says as he's walking down the hallway, he sees other UFOs inside the spaceship, and one's shaped like an oval, one's shaped like a disc, and he sees all this. And then they walk him down to the hallway, and he goes into another room, and there's a female Nordic looking girl, and she has like the thing on, and then they lay him on a table, and they put like an oxygen breathing thing over his face because he's frantic and freaking out, and they like lay him down, and they put it over his face, and he said that's the last thing he remembers. And then he was spit out on the street, and he remembers looking up and seeing the UFO just take off, and he was spit out on the street next to the phone booth. And he was there for 5 days, but he said it felt like 2 hours. But then when he hit Earth, he was like starving and like weak, because he didn't have any food or water,
How insane.
Dude, it's kind of crazy that they wouldn't feed him at least. Like, at least know what we eat. Right? Like, you don't buy a fucking hamster and not give it any food or water for 4 days.
Like, if you're going to abduct me, give me some Fiji water.
Yeah,
God.
like, do your research. At least have some Cheetos or something. Like, fuck.
So, honestly, how I would feel about that, like, yes.
You got to watch the documentary. It's called Travis. It's
that.
Really good. And the Capturing the Light. It's very interesting.
I am so, like, here's the thing. What's so crazy about Hollywood is, I've actually had a friend who got possessed.
No, by a demon?
7,
wasn't it?
Don't say it. Yeah.
Okay, I won't say.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
7 demons?
7 was in him.
I remember he threw him up, right?
Yeah, it took 4 hours. And so when he was able to get out of it, or when they were all out, he said that, like, what his description back is, literally how they have it in the movies, not the whole twist, you know what I'm saying? But you have to throw up the spirit and you have to get the spirit's name.
Yes, that's the only way to get rid of them if you know their name.
Yeah, and they say that in the movies. And he says that the only thing that isn't 100% true is that you have to have an ordained minister. Like the Lord can choose anybody to be
help.
Like, boom. Yeah, exactly.
Who got it out of him?
His mom and dad. It was at his house.
His mom and dad prayed over him.
It was when so what happened was he was actually leaving because they got into an argument. And when he left, once he was leaving, his friend was picking him up. His dad came out and like was trying to stop him and was like, why can't you just act right? And he said, it's because, and then as soon as he was trying to say something, he fell into it. And then he got him inside, and then the whole thing happened. Yeah.
He like started speaking tongues and shit.
And well, so he started the thing, started speaking tongues, and he told, oh my God, this is so crazy. Okay. He also spoke, in English too. Like he said, he told them that he was his, and that if you wouldn't have stopped him from going, he was going to kill both of them. He was going to kill him and the friend in the car wreck.
Yeah.
So then he was going on and on and on, talking about this, that, and that, whatever. So the grandma lives in his mom's mom lives in she constantly does evangelist work, and she's in countries all the time. Like she won't get service for 2 months, right? They call her and she is in the middle of nowhere, answers the phone and said, what's wrong? She said she knew. And so the mom told her, and she said, put me on speakerphone. Son, she put him on speakerphone, or she put her on speakerphone and said that she was the demon felt like that she was there and started going in tongues, whatever. And she started, I guess the Lord was speaking to her. She started speaking in tongues, and the demon inside of my friend said something back to her. And she said, yeah, I can. He said, you can speak. She told him, you can speak in tongues, but it's a false tongue. And that's what pissed him off. So he kept going on and on and on. And my friend was coming in and out, in and out.
So he remembers only parts of it, right?
So he says that when he was in it, he felt so he was in a dark, literally he had no control over his body. He knew his mouth was moving. Yeah. He felt nothing but pressure, and he could see out of his eyes through down here. You're looking up out
out, yeah.
And he couldn't understand anything that was going on. So then apparently one of the times he came out and was able to talk, he said, Mama, help me. And she said, baby, I'm trying. And he fell back in, and the demon came back out and was, this, that, and the third. And his mom apparently went into a prayer warrior and was and was going in, was quoting all the scripture.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And did he throw up a bunch?
He had 7 that he threw up, and they found out the name of the last one. The name of the demon, because they're in legions. Yeah. Is that what it's called? A legion?
Yeah, I get a legion.
Legion. Yeah. So same thing with angels, there's hierarchy or whatever. Same with aliens, apparently. There's hierarchy.
That's why I wonder. I'm is this all fucking connected?
Right.
Anyway.
Right. So they got the demon's name, and they researched the demon's name, and he comes with 7 or 6 demons. He's the 7th one. And I cannot remember
How
his
did they
name,
find his name again?
because they got it from him.
He told them
He told them their name. It's all about pride.
Yeah.
So you have to, and also when
Make
the Lord commands
pride.
you,
Yeah.
when the Lord commands you to give you the name, they got to give you that. I mean, they fought for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it was very they wanted him.
Oh my!
Period.
How did this happen to him?
So he has a few speculations. The only one that,
because this kid is so normal, by the way. This is not some crazy person.
Right. It's one of my best friends.
And anyone listening to this is probably oh, you guys are crazy, whatever.
Right.
That's the easiest thing to say.
Right.
But if you met this guy, he is a regular dude. Where does he work right now? He works at a store. Yeah, he's a very normal, funny, not the kind of guy who's into any kind of stuff like this.
Right.
Just very regular. So how did he think that this happened?
So now he did go through So now he does not know how long it was in him, right? Because this could be here, but at, generational curse.
Right.
Like, I could have a demon, you can have a demon in you, and then whatever, from generations ago. So he doesn't know exactly when, but he thinks what evoked it or what
woke it up
was 3 days prior. Him and his friends, like all of us, there was like 4 or 5 of them. They were like, let's go see a psychic. And he was like, he was already kind of like this. He was like, no, because he grew up in the church, like, and he's gay, so he like was beat down by the Bible, so but he knows it, so he was ready to leave, go to college. So, and he was going to raves and stuff like that. So God knows when this demonic spirit could have taken over. But again, like when it woke was 3 days prior. 3 days, like the Holy Spirit, it's like cursing God. Yeah. So he they went to the psychic, and he said as soon as they pulled up, like he just felt
had a bad
weird.
feeling.
He said that he knew it was like, it's not a feeling like, oh, this place looks creepy. It's a
I know.
Yeah.
The day that Meg died, my dog, not to change the subject, when I pulled up to that park, the dog park that day, I just got sick. And I remember I was like, I have a really bad feeling. It just happens before something bad happens. Anyway, go ahead.
So he
pulls up to the psychic.
So they go in. He doesn't mention anything about his feeling. He doesn't want to be like that. Like he just wanted to, join and, whatever. So they go in, and he said it was so weird. So like the lady asked them what they wanted, and I guess they all wanted a group reading and an individual reading. So yeah. So they did the group reading first, and apparently before they did the group reading, she did a chant. And she had them like close their eyes and repeat the chant with her. And it was like some chant, like he doesn't know, whatever. So they do that. I guess if you're not spiritual or knowing the spiritual side, to you it's just like, okay, whatever, right? So she said some words, whatever, and had them repeat it. And whatever, they all did kind of look at each other and was like he did say it was eerie. Like that's the first time he looked up. Like they opened their eyes while her eyes were closed, and they were like,
"This is weird."
Yeah, like that, like tambourine type. You know what I'm saying? Like weird. That So, anyways, she looks at him and says literally the exact thing that he's going through, like with somebody.
She knew,
and and he knew. She should know that,
right?
Stuff like. So what he has learned is that demonic spirits are 10 times smarter than a human.
Yeah,
They've been
they
around
know
you
everything.
Since the day you were born.
They watch you.
Exactly. So they may be they know your grandpa. So when your grandpa passed, they know everything about your grandpa. So and these psychics think that they're getting, information from the good place, but that's somebody who's trying to get in.
Right.
Like that's how that works. I'm not saying all psychics are bad. That's not what I'm promoting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that is a portal. When you open that portal, that is what demonic and good see.
Can get through.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, it depends on the psychic and how far they're trying to get. They're trying to elevate and be God.
Right.
Like they're trying to get more and more. So then it got to the group, the private reading, and he told her, or she told him some other crazy stuff, just in case somebody were to be like, oh, like just try to find this person. I don't want to reveal anymore, but like of like what she said to him, but some stuff that she shouldn't know.
Right.
And it shook him, like, and she says some stuff like he's the one that's going to cause it. And he already had that feeling, like, not about it wasn't anything about the possession. It was something like in personal life.
Right,
and he was like, oh my God, like what? Anyways, so 3 days later, he said that everybody wraps up, they're leaving, and they ask him like, hey, do we want to go get yogurt or ice cream or whatever? And he like already was like weird. Like he said he felt weird, kind of like nauseous or whatever. He was like, nah, like I'm just going to go home. Like, can y'all take me home? So they took him home, and the next day, I believe he went and got a tongue ring. And or he had a tongue ring either a week before or the next day he got it, and his mom or they got like, she didn't notice the tongue ring at first. The second day, I guess he was just a little bit angry, a little bit more agitated. Like he was like, because that's a spiritual house.
Yeah,
like, they got a prayer closet. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't play around, and it's nothing but love. Now they do believe that homosexuality is whatever, but they will never make you feel, and I can respect that. Like, I'm
Right.
like, you're the one that's going to be surprised.
Right, right.
Of how loving our God truly is.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he goes, I think so when that spirit like was awoke
It
and
made
was in
him
that
angry.
house. Oh yes. Oh, he said, anytime it would be like praying before dinner, he just was just like, man, why do we got to do this every time? And he was never like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then the third day, he, his mom came into his room, and I guess it was something they were supposed to do or whatever he hadn't done. And she said, he was like playing some music, like explicit music. And she was like, no, his mom don't play. Okay. And neither do I. Like, don't be, what I'm saying? With my kids, like, you ain't listen to this mess.
Yeah.
So she told him, like, hold up now. What is this? Like, she's going through all this stuff. She was like, what is this music? Because we don't listen to music in this house. Like, you listen to what you want to out there, but in this house, that does not play.
Right.
And when he was about to say something back to her, she said, what is on your tongue?
Oh,
and he was like, it's a pill. And she said, let me see the pill. And he put his tongue out, and his tongue was pierced. So she calls the dad in.
Boy.
By the first name. Oh, Lord. Da-da-da-da-da. Come in here and see what your son has done.
Oh,
like, whatever.
God.
So the dad comes in, and he was like, you either take it out or you get out. So he was like,
I get out.
Bye.
Wow.
Packed his stuff up, called his friend. His friend was on the way. And that's when they started arguing. And that's when he was just like, I'm going to wait outside, basically, and slammed the door. They got in an argument. And then that's when the dad came out. And he said, why can't you just act right? And my friend was going to tell him, it's because I'm gay. Because, and right when he was going to say that, it's because that's when he fell into the possession, and his dad took him back inside, and then the whole thing happened. And it was 4 hours after.
Jeez.
And then so when he woke up.
Where was the friend? Did he come watch?
No. So apparently he so crazy too. So apparently the friend ended up not even being able to come because he had something to do. So apparently he had like texted, which I'm like, that's the Lord. Like he had texted Jeremy, be like, hey, I am so sorry. Like I
actually
have something
can't
to
come
do.
get you,
Do you have another ride or whatever? I was like, the Lord was saving both of their lives.
Damn.
Right. So the next day he said that it literally felt like he was hit by a Mack truck. He for the next week he said that it felt like literally somebody was inside of him and was like punching just for 4 hours.
Did he take the tongue ring out?
Yes, I believe he took the tongue, like did everything. So anyways, they sat down at the table the next day, and he was exhausted, and his mama like was cooking breakfast or whatever, and like looked over and she was like, now you remember what happened to you last night, right? And he was like, yeah. She was like, now I don't know what you and the Lord need to talk about, but you need to get some things straight. Because, again, well, that's a whole nother. Anyways, so.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, it was because that's not their first, exorcism they've seen. The grandma's evangelist, she's in other countries where they have news channels talking about exorcisms every day.
I know,
we
people
just don't
hide
talk about
it.
here. I know
the United States hides it, and also like I think like a lot of the priests in the Vatican, they're not allowed to discuss the cases.
Right.
Just like a psychiatrist or a therapist isn't allowed to talk about their cases. The Vatican,
but some countries are like, how Florida has like a law that you like you always hear about the Florida man, the Florida woman, like there's all these crazy crimes.
People in Florida, doing crazy shit.
Well, it's because Florida has a law that they have to publicize every criminal act.
Oh.
So that's why you hear like the same things are happening in every state.
But Florida is talking about it all the time.
Exactly. So some countries have a law
that you have to share the news.
That they'll share the news, that anything's, whatever. You should look up news stuff.
I will. I know it's so interesting. I was reading about an actual priest who works at the Vatican who was talking about doing exorcisms, and he said like, it was something like 95% of the cases are just people who are mentally ill, and then 5% are like the actual real deal. So it's like it actually is like a thing. Exactly. A lot of it's mental illness, but a lot of it is the real deal.
Yes, with mental illness, that's another. Not being in your right mind, the Bible even warns that. That's even talking about being sober at some point. The Lord reminds us all to remember to be in your right mind so that you know how to react. But it's not that He does it tell you not to because he grew weed.
And sometimes your right mind isn't even developed right.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes your right mind's like,
hey, thank you, Adam and Eve. Like literally, and they're sitting in heaven. So you're telling me if them two were sitting in heaven, they were literally the destruction of humanity. Like, thank you for my overgrown weight. Like what? So yes, it's just literally, you just got to love one another. And that's what nobody can do.
No, I know.
It's just like the world cannot love because we all have our opinions. And then we're like, well, that's what Jesus said.
Everyone's opinions
Jesus did not
ruin
say that.
everything.
It is.
It's like you can
have
believe
your
some,
opinions,
but don't force them
them
on other people. You can believe what we say. You cannot believe what we say. Believe what you say. Like nobody who knows at the end of the day.
Again, you will hear me say.
Who knows? Yeah.
You will hear me say this. If you for Buddha, you Buddha. I will send you all the praise because I know your love. I get that.
Yeah.
But I will always say how I am mentally here and how I am spiritually here is Jesus Christ.
Right.
So you will always hear me say that, but you will never hear me. The Lord is a gentleman. He literally says, in the Bible, do not say anything that will stray anybody away from Christ. Because Jesus said, I don't do that.
Or condemn people for believing in something that makes them.
Period. He said, I don't see them. Well, even in the Bible, it says that I do not see what man sees. Man sees the outside. I see the inside. I see the heart. He's already telling you, I don't see two men. I don't see two women. I don't see this. I see the chaos. I see the love. Like, let's just get, I see the spirit and the chaos. You get what I'm saying? So just people have it, but that's their own judgment. People judge themselves. So they lock themselves in their religion where they feel safe. And they're like, you're wrong. I'm right. Because Jesus said it.
I know. I don't get the whole "you're wrong, I'm right" thing. It's like nobody's wrong, nobody's right.
Like, doesn't everybody lose weight different?
Just like everyone's entitled to their own thoughts and their interpretations of what this world is and what this life is, and that's it. Period.
Just have love behind it.
Yeah, just come from a good place. We'll try to come from a good place. You know?
And if you're not having my thing is if you're not feeling like I've been there.
Yeah.
I didn't love myself.
Everyone's been in dark places.
You know what I'm saying? So like, because I found out that my brain doesn't produce enough serotonin and dopamine. I talk about this on my channel as well.
Yeah.
Which, I've
of
talked
course.
about
And I'm very open about mental health.
So when I got on a medication, it literally was just like, oh my God, I found out that the literal thing that's supposed to tell me, hey, you're good, we got it, was literally not working.
Defunct.
You know, so I took a lot of that with being gay and with not having that spiritual path. So it was just a whole connection. I fully was able to feel my mind, body, and soul for the first time.
I know, and you seem so much happier
now.
So
do you.
Like don't trip on like anything.
No,
like,
I'm not.
Your happiness is above all else, right?
Yeah. No,
like,
it is. But I was on a so we were talking. I was on a medication, Prozac, the generic form of I can't think of what it's called. Fluoxetine.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, fluoxetine. Yeah.
And I was on 40 milligram fluoxetine, and I gained 40 pounds.
Well, that's what that does. So, I mean, unfortunately, for a lot of people, there's a couple antidepressants that tend to make people gain weight. That doesn't go for everyone.
Right.
Like I've been on Effexor forever, and I've had women write to me saying that Effexor made them gain a ton of weight, but for me, Effexor made me lose. I mean, I was never fat, but it made me hard for me to keep weight on. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's everyone reacts differently to antidepressants.
Well, so I switched recently, like 2 weeks ago, to a new medicine, and I don't want to say the name because I don't know. I want to say it's Lexapro, but I went back and checked, and I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's this. It's another like.
It's not Zoloft or Cymbalta or Paxil or Celexa or. I know all of them. Seroquel. It's not Effexor.
Seroquel. I'll be like,
I'm dead.
Oh,
it's not Topamax. It's not Lamictal. It's not. I just keep going. I know every antidepressant because I've tried them all.
No,
I've tried every single one. Prestige.
The thing is that you only gain like the expectation is like 1 to 2 pounds.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
So
and guys, like if you're like considering getting on antidepressants or not, like that is a possibility that can happen. But make sure you talk to your doctor and do your research. A lot of the time, doctor will be like, yeah, no, not a lot of people experience it, and then some people blow up.
Or they'll be
pounds.
like, oh, you have this and you need this medication.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Yeah,
you need to do your research before you just hop on a medication.
And don't try not to and don't. We're not, and I'm not pushing pills on anybody because I would never do that, obviously. Like I wean myself down. I only take 37.5 milligrams of that Effexor now from 150, and I've been on that forever.
Oh, girl, I remember when she was.
I know.
There's a video on my channel you guys should check out. It's called I Met a Demon. There was a demon on my Snapchat, and that demon is starring Brittany Furlan. She comes over to my apartment.
So anyway, I've tamed my demons become very calm
Wait,
and
do you remember
fashionable.
that when you were in my
Yes.
bathtub?
Oh my
your
god, like a
feet, you're like,
psycho. Needed to be medicated. You know what? Actually, that was I got off my ADHD medication.
oh, right. I remember you had told me.
I was
like,
on.
I'm not,
I was on. Because I have really bad ADHD, but for
But
some
you said
reason,
I didn't
like
take my medicine.
no,
or
I
something.
take that. Yeah, exactly. I was on. What's it called? That fucking shit that everyone's on, Adderall.
Oh,
They had me on Adderall for years, and that would
You
make me
can't take that
calm.
now,
I can't
right?
take it because it gave me
your
like
heart,
It
yeah.
makes me have heart pain. But I knew it wasn't good for me because it was making my heart race too fast, but it would actually, strangely enough, make me more calm. But I stopped
That's
taking it.
extreme ADD.
It's weird, such bad ADD. But that was when I stopped taking it. Was when I got really hyper. Thank God, like now that I'm 30, I've like slowly calmed down. And I take like my CBD. It makes me really mellow. And, like, so, like, but oh
yeah.
my God, if you want to see a video, go to Alex's channel. It's scary.
There was a demon on my Snapchat.
Yes, that's what it's called.
What it's called.
And make sure to follow Alx James on Instagram and on TikTok. He's so funny. He's one of my dearest friends, and I've loved having you here. We're already finished.
you.
Like it was
Yeah.
so amazing. You're the
I love you.
best.
Thank you for
Are
inviting
you
me
okay?
over.
Let's go have lunch.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
so
we're gonna go
hungry.
have lunch.
And we're gonna get in the pool.